Peace, Tariq. Welcome to the stage. We're talking about cosplayers. Tariq, we got Fat Joe and Drake on the screen. You got some words?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Right on. We can hear you.
All right. What's up? Shout out to Dwan B. Shout out to everybody. First, shout out to everybody who's been supporting the making of the new movie, Microphone Check, and the Kickstarter campaign. Since we put up the trailer for the film, these folks, these tethers and these vultures and these cosplayers, they've been having a hissy fit. A lot of people within the industry, they've been bickering about the film's content behind the scenes. We're going back and forth now with Busta Rhymes' manager slash A&R rep, a guy named Dante Ross, a white boy who's pretty well known in the music industry. He's been complaining about the trailer, about how divisive it is. If you guys have seen the trailer for the new movie Microphone Check, we didn't attack anybody. It's not, all we're doing is telling the truth about our culture. These people are running around behind the scenes acting like this is an assault and an attack on Caribbeans and Latinos because we're not letting them lie about our culture. They've been lying about our culture for so long, they've gotten used to the lies. So now when the truth is here, they feel attacked. It's not our obligation to let these people lie indefinitely. There's this weird sense of entitlement that we're supposed to share our culture to the point where we're supposed to give it away, not just share. We're supposed to give our culture away to these people who are really cultureless, if we're going to be very honest. So if they can't feed off of our culture, we're the evil specimen in the room. Let's be real. None of these other groups created anything before or after hip hop, but we're supposed to believe that they are somehow some 50-50 contributors. And we got a movie coming out clearing all of those lies up. I didn't even, in the trailer, we didn't even put our brother Dwan B's part in it. Dwan is in the movie going off. Some of the stuff Dwan is breaking down about the sound system lie that they've been telling, they're going to have a heart attack when they hear all that shit. Some of the stuff, the trailer is lightweight. We just sprinkled them with a little truth. When they see the whole film, people are going to have strokes out here. They're going to lose, their hairline is going to fall back 2 more inches. They're having a fit already. And it's good. We should have been cleaning house a long damn time ago. We should have been stopped having these people lie. Another one of these guys, a hip hop journalist, I forgot his name, but he was like, oh my God, all this gatekeeping is toxic. You can go to hell with that. We should have been gatekeeping. They gatekeep their stuff left and right. If we put too much Goya powder on an empanada, they jump up and say, hey, you can't do that now. We can't do anything pertaining to their culture remotely out of pocket to them. But they're supposed to come into our culture and just eat, milk it, fleece it for everything it's worth, and we're supposed to be good with that. No, we're not good with that. The bottom line and the truth is, and what we're promoting in this film and telling in this film, foundational Black Americans created every single element of hip hop, and everybody else is a damn guest in the house, and they're a student. And it's divisive to think otherwise. And they're going to get this work, and they're not going to shame us out of telling the damn truth. The truth is going to set everybody free. This whole thing, the BET Awards is coming on Tuesday night. BET, that's a white corporate entity. They have a vested interest in taking our culture away from us and giving it to other people, to the Fat Joes and all of these folks. They let them Trojan horse the colonized agenda into the game. That's something that we're going to have to stop too. Fat Joe's going to have to continue to be called out, and all of the others. This is a corporate hostile takeover of our culture, and only the grassroots, you and I and everybody listening, we're the only ones who can stop that, because hip hop is a foundational Black American grassroots movement, and it's going to take the foundational Black American grassroots to stop all the damn lies.
That's real tough. Dewan,
Yeah.
in the film, in y'all's film, I hope that you have some elders, not olders, because a lot of times we have these olders who have been giving away our legacy, and they're telling us that we don't have a culture, but these other people who come from flags and spicy foods, they have a culture, so we have to share it with
Well,
them.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Our birthright.
I'll let the Tariq go ahead because I want to see the. Hey, Tariq, that trailer dope than a motherfucker.
Thank you.
You go ahead and answer your question.
Thank you so much. Now, yeah, fortunately, a lot of the real hip hop pioneers, some of them are elders, they're actually telling the truth. That's why you don't see a lot of mainstream entities interviewing some of these people, because they have no problem telling the truth. Brothers like Coke LaRock, who's been around for a long time, one of the first technical MCs out here, they don't really interview him in mainstream publications because Coke LaRock, for a long time, they've been lying about that brother. If you look at books like Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and other books, Born in the Bronx, these books say that that man is Caribbean. And if you talk to him, like, no, I'm not Caribbean. My family's from North Carolina. They're not going to tell you that in the mainstream. They've been lying about some of these hip hop elders. So they're happy to have an opportunity to speak on what happened in their own words. Notice when they have hip hop documentaries, they might have one or two elders in there, and then they'll put a bunch of Latinos and tethers in there to explain our history, or they'll start somewhere in the 80s. They'll start talking about some goddamn rock steady crew and crazy legs, which that's not the origin of hip hop. Here's the thing. They've lowered the bar so low for Latinos, any Latino can claim to be a pioneer. If you were somebody at a block party on a corner in 1975 and you're Latino, they're going to say you a goddamn pioneer. Everybody Latino is a pioneer, according to them, just by being in the Bronx. So they've lowered the bar so incredibly and insanely low. We're going to have to say, no. We're raising the bar, and we're going to point to where the real pioneers are, and those are the foundational Black Americans who created this culture from top to bottom.
But going back to the point Tariq made about them lowering the bar, I was talking about there. It was time to take them in the deep water. We've been playing on the beach with these fools, talking about some I was there. That's playing on the beach in the sand with some sand buckets. We got to go on out there where the water gets 100, 200, 3,000 feet deep. And that's where you go into the technical aspect of music, how it's created, how culture's passed down. It's far more likely I picked up culture from my grandmother, my uncle, my aunt, my family reunion, than that dude down the street with the mullet shag.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And again, the bar is so incredibly low. They had Fat Joe out here talking about his brother carried crates for Grandmaster Flash, so that makes his brother and him pioneers. This is how ridiculously damn low they're trying to raise or lower the bar for our culture, and we have to speak up against this nonsense because it's a hostile, anti-Black sentiment when they do this stuff. We got to understand where it's coming from. That's coming from deep-rooted anti-Blackness from these other cultures. They'll come around us and smile and grin as long as we go along with them colonizing what we got going on. The minute we start pushing back, then we see their fangs. Then they start talking crazy and greasy. So we should have been pushing back on this a long time ago, but never late than better late than never.
That's I see this here as an opportunity, because we haven't been talking. We don't brag enough about our music. We don't pass it down, talk enough about it.
Right.
We should, Miles Davis should be on should be in every child's home. Louis Armstrong, and anybody who does music, anyone who picks up a keyboard should know Louis Armstrong's impact and what he did to music. But we don't do that. But better late than never. What they're doing is they're providing the perfect opposition for us to shine our shoes and tighten up our game, because we should have been doing this anyway. Now with us doing it, with the way I see it, it's now should be a culture, something that we do every day, passing on down. Even when we're done talking about them, because we're dealing with the most persistent people on earth, these white supremacists, the one that's funding Fat Joe and putting money behind these fools.
Right.
So this is a lifelong thing.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and that's very important what you said. Now, these people are being funded by the dominant society. We got to be very clear on that, because once we put the trailer out, all of the white Latinos and all of the other white execs that's really in the music industry, they immediately jumped on this and they started complaining. And we see who these people are associated with. All of the white people behind the scenes that's complaining, they're connected with the Fat Joes and some of these corporate entities. So this has been a corporate move behind the scenes to systematically erase foundational Black Americans away from our culture. This is why the whole narrative is African Latinos or Caribbeans or white Latinos or African people. Everything is about erasing us. When Kamala Harris got out there and did that speech, she sat there and gave props to Africa, the Caribbeans, and Latinos, and acted like we are just completely invisible. That was a hostile type of takeover when you have the vice president saying something like that about a culture that we created.